Francis Bacon was an English philosopher, lawyer, statesman, essayist, and one of the pioneers of modern scientific thinking. He is regarded as father of empiricism because he emphasized observations and experimentation rather than blind acceptance of authority. His work greatly influenced the scientific revolution. Key concept for Euclides: father of empiricism, knowledge comes from observation and experience. Baconian method: scientific investigation based on observation, experimentation, and induction. Inductive reasoning: moving from particular fact to general conclusion. Rejected scholasticism: opposed medieval reliance on Aristotle and deductive reasoning. Knowledge is power. Famous idea that scientific knowledge improves human life. Scientific method: careful observation, experiment, collection of facts, general law. 4 idols: idol of tribe, error common to all human, errors of cave, personal prejudices, idol of marketplace, misuse of language, idols of theatre, blind acceptance of traditional philosophies. Now, these important books are Essay, 1597, Advancement of Learning, 1605, Novum Organum, 1620, New Atlantis, 1627, published posthumously, Instauratio Magna, the Great Instauration. Now we'll practice some MCQ, 100 MCQ of Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon is known as father of empiricism. Bacon belonged to England. Bacon emphasized observation and experiment. Bacon's method is induction. Knowledge is power is associated with Francis Bacon. Bacon precise scholasticism. Which work introduced Bacon's scientific method? Novum Organum. Bacon was also a lawyer and statesman. Bacon believed knowledge should remain benefit mankind. Bacon lived during Renaissance, early modern period. Now 4 idols. Idols of tribe refers to human nature's common errors. Idols of cavemen, individual prejudices. Idols of marketplace relates to language confusion. Idols of theatre means blind faith in tradition system. Which idol concern misuse of words? Marketplace. Personal bias belongs to cave. Blind acceptance of authority is theatre. Human sense misleading everyone is tribe. Bacon introduced 4 idols. Bacon idols help identify scientific errors. Now 21 to 100 condensed MCQ. Bacon preferred induction. Bacon opposed blind authority. Bacon influenced modern science. Bacon valued experimentation. Bacon's philosophy is empirical. Bacon served King James I. Bacon became Lord Chancellor. Bacon rejected pure deduction. Bacon supported observations. Bacon stressed utility of science. New Atlantis is a utopian work. Advancement of learning discusses education. Novum Organum replaced Aristotle Organon. Bacon inspired the scientific revolution. Experience is the source of knowledge. Bacon believed science improved society. Bacon criticized superstition. Bacon promoted systematic inquiry. Bacon valued facts over speculation. Bacon rejected mere traditions. Empiricism depends on experience. Bacon used inductive logic. Observation precedes theory. Experiments verify ideas. Fact leads to laws. Bacon opposed dogmatism. Bacon influenced John Locke. Bacon influenced modern research methods. Bacon's ideas shaped scientific thinking. Bacon emphasized practical knowledge. Bacon lived from 1561 to 1626. Bacon was born in London. Bacon died in 1626. Bacon was an essayist. Bacon was a philosopher. Bacon was a lawyer. Bacon was a politician. Bacon valued reason with observation. Bacon criticized Aristotelian scholasticism. Bacon is associated with modern science. Bacon method begins with observation. Data collection is essential. General laws emerge from fact. Scientific inquiry should be unbiased. Language can mislead knowledge. Personal prejudice affect judgment. Tradition may hinder science. Human sense are imperfect. Knowledge serves humanity. teacher should study systematically. Experience corrects error. Bacon opposed unsupported speculation. Bacon promoted reform of learning. Scientific method required testing. Observation alone is insufficient without analysis. Bacon emphasized evidence. Bacon inspired later on the insist. Bacon opposed unquestioned authority. Bacon believed truth emerges gradually. Induction moves from specific to general. Deduction moves from general to specific. Bacon favored induction over deduction. Bacon philosophy is practical. Bacon influenced Enlightenment thinkers. Bacon linked science with progress. Bacon believed ignorance can be overcome. Bacon encouraged intellectual reform. Bacon criticized empty debates. Bacon preferred experiments over speculation. Bacon's idea remain influential today. Bacon saw science as cumulative. Bacon stressed careful observations. Bacon work shaped research methodology. Bacon advocated evidence-based thinking. Bacon important for philosophy of science. Bacon promoted empirical investigation. Bacon is frequently asked in UK is philosophy general study. The correct description of Bacon is father of empiricism and pioneer of science. His father of empiricism, method of induction, main book, novel argument, famous quote, knowledge is power. Four idols, strike, cave, marketplace, theatre. Observation, experimentation, scientific method and practical knowledge. Now, idol of tribe means everyone's mistake. Cave, my mistake. Market pass, word mistake. Theatre, all belief mistake. Error of human nature. Cave, error of individual prejudice. Prejudice. Marketplace, error of language. Theatre, error of blind belief in traditional authority. No. PCMT, think clearly, mind creation. Tribe, human nature. Cave, personal bias. Marketplace, language. Theatre, traditional. Guy de Maupassant, he was born on 5th August 1850 in Normandy, France. He was died on 6th July 1893 at age 42. His nationality was French. Literary period was realism and naturalism. He was a novelist, a short story writer. Remember, Guy de Maupassant is the master of modern short story. Maupassant was a disciple of Gustave Flaubert. Flaubert taught him simplicity, precision, objectivity, realistic descriptions. Literary movements. Realism describes ordinary life truthfully, focus on middle and lower class people, avoid romantic imagination. Naturalism. Human beings are influenced by heredity, environment, social conditions. Themes. UKPCS frequently asked these: human greed, vanity, pride, irony of fate, poverty, war, love, marriage, social hypocrisy, human weakness. His writing style is very short, simple language, surprise ending, psychological realism, irony, sharp observation, and powerful characterization. Now, most important work, The Necklace, Lord Perret. Most important story for exams. Its summary is Mathilde Loisel borrows a necklace for a party. She loses it and spends 10 years repaying the debt for a replacement, only to discover the original necklace was fake. Pride, appearance versus reality, materialism, and irony. Its famous line, the necklace was imitations. Bolidi Souf. First famous short story set during Franco-Prussian War shows hypocrisy of upper-class society. Theme is patriotism, morality, and hypocrisy. The Horla, psychological horror story. Its theme is madness, fear, supernatural, isolation. Two Friends. Its theme is friendship, war, patriotism. A Piece of String. Theme is reputation, suspicion, social cruelty. Mother Savage. Theme is war, revenge, and patriotism. Belle Ami. It's the novel of ambition, corruption, journalism, social climbing. Pierre and Jean's novel theme is family, jealousy, identity. Famous characteristic. Master of irony, he is the master of realistic short fiction, objective narration, psychological depth, twist ending. Now UKPSC one-liner. Father of the modern French story is the student of Gustave Flaubert. He wrote over 300 short stories, famous for realistic and ironic ending. It belongs to realism and naturalism. The Necklace is his most famous short story. Belle Ami is the most famous novel. Normandy often appears at the setting in his works. Now, important quotes. Life is never so good or so bad as it seems. Patriotism is kind of religion. People are known by appearances, not by truth. Now we will do some previous year style MCQ. Now we will do some objective question of Guy de Maupassant. Guy de Maupassant belonged to which country? He belonged to France. Guy de Maupassant is mainly for famous as short story writer. Guy de Maupassant was associated with realism and naturalism. Then Guy de Maupassant was born in 1850. You should remember that he was born on 1850. Guy de Maupassant died in 1893. He died in very young age. He was about 42 years that time. 1893. Birth is 1850 and death is 1893. You should remember again and again that he was born on 1850 and died on 1893. Maupassant was a disciple of Gustave Flaubert. Most important, Gustave Flaubert. Which famous novel by Maupassant is translated as a life? Univ. Belle Ami is a novel which is Maupassant's most famous short story. The Necklace. Necklace is the most important short story. Then original French title of Necklace is La Parure. La Parure is original French title of Necklace. The heroine of Necklace is Madame Loisel. Madame Loisel is the heroine of Necklace. Madame Loisel dreams of wealth and luxury. The necklace borrowed by Madame Loisel was fake imitation. The central theme of Necklace is appearance versus reality. It appears that the necklace is of diamond, but actually it is fake necklace, and for that the borrower had worked for 10 hours to repay the money. Maupassant's first great success was Bal de Souf. It's a patriotism novel about the country that it's on the time of war. Bal de Souf is set during Franco-Prussian War. You should remember it is written at the time of Franco-Prussian War. Maupassant wrote approximately 300 stories. Maupassant's style is known as simplicity and irony. Simplicity was there and irony was there. Maupassant influenced O. Henry, Somerset Maugham, Anton Chekhov, all of these. He influenced everyone. Which novel deals with two brothers, Pierre and Jean? This is the story of two brothers. Maupassant's stories often ends with unexpected twists. Twists are unexpected, like O. Henry. Maupassant belonged to the realistic school. The main social class depicted in his story is French middle class. Maupassant mentor also wrote Madame Bovary. Maupassant's full name is Henry René Albert Guy de Maupassant. Henry René Albert Guy de Maupassant. This psychological story is famous for horror element, the Horla. Horla is the psychological story of horror element. The Horla explores madness of a person who was staying alone, and he experienced that something is coming. He just behaved like a mad. Which disease affected Maupassant? He was affected by syphilis because he was so sexually active. Maupassant attempted suicide, and last he suicided. His literacy movement emphasized objective observation. This story criticizes greed and vanity. The Necklace. Maupassant mostly wrote in French. His stories are famous for realistic characters. Maupassant admired Flaubert. Protagonist Belle Ami is Georges Duret. Belle Ami exposes Parisian journalism and ambition. Maupassant's stories are generally concise. This story featured patriotism during war. This is the story of two friends. Maupassant was influenced by naturalism. His work often criticized hypocrisy. A previous style question. Who was Maupassant's literary mentor? Gustave Flaubert. La Perrure is the French title of The Necklace. Which war forms the backdrop of Ballades of Franco-Prussian War? Which novel made Maupassant internationally famous? Belle Ami. Maupassant belongs to which literary movement? Realism, naturalism. The story ends with discovery that the necklace was fake. The necklace. Which work explores paranoia and hallucination? The Horla. Maupassant wrote nearly how many short stories? 300. Which quality best defines Maupassant writing? Psychological realism. Which one is not written by Guy de Maupassant? Madame Bovary. It's written by Gustave Flaubert. Maupassant was the disciple of Gustave Flaubert. Now I remember the facts are: he was born on 1850. He was died on 1893. His nationality was French, and mentor was Gustave Flaubert. Movement was realism and naturalism. Most famous story, The Necklace. First major success is Ballades of. Famous novel, Belle Ami, Univi, Pierre and Jean. Psychological story, The Horla. Common themes, realism, irony, social hypocrisy, greed, vanity, appearance versus reality. Now we will do some works which are most important. Summary of the works. Now, O. Henry, William Sidney Potter. Uh, his real name is William Sidney Potter. Pen name is O. Henry. Henry is William Sidney Potter. His real name is William Sidney Potter. His pen name is O. Henry. He was born on 11 September 1862 and died on 5 June 1910. He was American and he was a short story writer. His American realism, famous for the short stories with surprise or twist ending. He is important because of twist ending, and he wrote about ordinary, middle class and poor people. He combined humor, irony, sentiment and coincidence. He published over 600 stories, and the famous short stories are The Gift of Maggie. It has a surprising end. The Last Leaf, The Ransom of Red Chief, about a boy. After 20 years, The Cop and the Anthem, Retrieved, Reformation, The Furnace Room, The Skylight Room, The Green Door, Mammon and Archer. And the famous collections are The 4 Million, Trim, Lamb, The Voice of City, Whirligig, Cabbage and Kings, Roads of Destiny, Option. His important themes are love and sacrifice, irony, fate and coincidence, poverty, kindness, human nature, and hope and redemption. His writing style is simple and conversational language. He is using humor and mixed with emotion, vivid depiction of city life, clever dialogue, and unexpected endings. His real name was William Sidney Potter, and his pen name was O. Henry. He is from United States, and best known story is The Gift of the Maggie, and the most famous feature has twist ending. So some of the previous year's question, like O. Henry real name is William Sidney Potter. O. Henry is best known for his surprise ending in short stories. The story is masterpiece of O. Henry is The Gift of Maggie. The Last Leaf is mainly highlights hope and sacrifice. He belonged to America. So these are the important facts which already I have discussed. 51-liner exam facts. O. Henry real name was William Sidney Potter. He was born on 11 September 1862. He was died on 3rd June 1910. He was an American short story writer, and he is known as master of the twist ending. O. Henry wrote more than 600 short stories. His stories belong mainly to American realism. His language is simple, humorous, and ironic. Many of his stories are set in New York City. His most famous story is The Gift of Maggie. Jim and Della are the main characters of The Gift of Maggie. The theme of Gift of the Maggie is the love and sacrifice. The 4 Million contains The Gift of the Maggie. The Last Leaf is about hope and sacrifice. Berman paints the last leaf. Johnsy believes he will die when the last ivy leaf falls. Shue is Johnson's friend and roommate. The Cop and the Anthem features Soapy, a homeless man. Soapy wants to be arrested to spend the winter in prison. A church anthem inspires Soapy to reform. Soapy is arrested after deciding to become honest. After 20 years is about friendship versus duty. Bob keeps the appointment after 20 years. James Wells becomes a police officer. James arranges Bob's arrest through another detective. A retrieve reformation features Jimmy Valentine. Jimmy Valentine is a skilled safe cracker. Jimmy changes his name to Ralph D. Spencer. Annabelle Adams is Jimmy's Valentine fiancée. Annabelle Adams, just remember the name Annabelle Adams. Ben Price is the detective in a retrieve reformation. Ben Price forgives Jimmy because he has truly deformed. The Ransom of Red Chief is a humor story. Sam and Bill Driscoll kidnap Red Chief. Sam and Bill Driscoll kidnap Red Chief. Red Chief is Johnny Dorset. The kidnappers end up paying the boy's father. The Green Door is another famous O. Henry story. The furnace room deals with loneliness. The skylight room is about dreams and hope. The trim lamp is a collection of stories. Whirligigs is another famous story collection. Cabbage and King is the collection of linked stories. The Voice of City is the story of collection. Road of Destiny is O. Henry collection. Options is another collection by O. Henry. Irony is hallmark of O. Henry stories. Coincidence is a frequent plot device in his fiction. Ordinary people are the heroes of most of his stories. Humor and compassion characterizes this writing. O. Henry's stories usually end with unexpected surprise. Master of Surprise ending is the most important exam fact about the O. Henry. His real name was William Sidney Potter. He was born on 1862. He was died on 1910. His nationality was American. He was known as Master of the Twist ending. Ernest Hemingway. His full name is Ernest Miller Hemingway. He was born on 21st July 1899. His birthplace is Oak Park, Illinois, USA. He died on 2nd June 1961. He died in Ketchum, Idaho, USA. He was an American novelist and short story writer. Hemingway belonged to modernist movement. He was one of the leading writers of lost generation. The term lost generation was popularized by Gertrude Stein. Lost Generation was popularized by Gertrude Stein. Hemingway worked as a journalist before becoming a novelist. He served as an ambulance driver in World War I. His war experience deeply influenced his fiction. He lived in Paris during the 1920s. He later lived in Cuba for many years. He loved hunting, fishing, and bullfighting. He won the Pulitzer Prize in 1953. He was Nobel Prize in he won Nobel Prize in Literature in 1954. The Nobel Committee praised his mastery of narrative art. Hemingway is famous for his simple prose style. He influenced generations of modern writers. His literary style, Hemingway developed the iceberg theory. The iceberg theory is also called the iceberg theory of omission. In the iceberg theory, most meaning remain unstated. His style is concise and direct. He avoided unnecessary adjectives. His dialogue is realistic. He preferred short declarative sentences. His stories rely heavy on implications. His heroes rarely express emotion openly. His style emphasizes understatement. Now, theme. War is the central theme. Courage is another major theme. Love often appears alongside loss. Death is a recurring subject. Loneliness appears in many works. Nature plays an important symbolic role. Human endurance is key concern. Dignity under pressure is central to his fiction. Failure and perseverance often coexist. Masculinity is frequently explored. The Sun Also Rises. It was published in 1926. It was Hemingway's first major novel. It portrays the lost generation. The protagonist is Jake Barnes. Lady Brett Astley is the central character. The novel is set mainly in Paris and Spain. It includes the Pamplona bullfighting festival. The title comes from the Bible Ecclesiastes. The novel explores aimlessness after World War I. It is one of the Hemingway masterpiece, A Farewell to Arms, published in 1929. It is set during World War I. The hero is Frederick Henry. The heroine is Catherine Barclay. It is a tragic love story. Italy is the main setting. The novel criticizes war. It complete romance with realism. It became an international bestseller. It remains one of the Hemingway's greatest novels. For Whom the Bell Tolls, published in 1940, it is set during Spanish Civil War. The protagonist is Robert Jordan. Maria is Robert Jordan's beloved. The novel emphasizes sacrifice. The title comes from John Donne. It explores duty and idealism. It considered one of the Hemingway's major work. The bridge mission is central to plot. It examined the human cost of war. The Old Man and the Sea, published in 1952, it is Hemingway's most famous novella. It won the Pulitzer Prize. It contributes to Hemingway's Nobel Prize. The protagonist is Santiago. Santiago is an old Cuban fisherman. He catches the giant marlin. Sharks destroys the marlin on the return journey. The novella symbolizes endurance and dignity. The famous message is a man can be destroyed but not defeated. Short stories. The Snow of Kilimanjaro is a famous short story. The Killers is another important story. Hills Like White Elephant is known for symbolism. Indian Camp explores pain and death. A clean, white lighted place deals with loneliness. The Short Happy Life and Francis Montgomery is widely studied. Men Without Women is short story collection. In Our Time is his first short story collection. Winner Taking Nothing is another collection. The Fifth Column and Fifth 49 Stories an important collection. Frequently asked fact. Hemingway belonged to American modernism. He is one of the greatest American novelists. His writing is known for minimalism. He admired courage in difficult situations. His heroes often suffer silently. Santiago is unforgettable literary hero. Iceberg theory is the most important concept linked with Hemingway. The Old Man and the Sea is his most frequently asked work in competitive exams. Hemingway is hallmark in simple language with deep meaning. Ernest Hemingway is most important topic, and he was born on 1899 and died on 1961. American modernist. He got Nobel Prize on 1954, Pulitzer Prize in 1953. Iceberg theory is the theory of motion. The sun also rises. 1926, A Farewell to Arm. 1929, For Whom the Bell Tolls. 1940, The Old Man and the Sea. 1952, Santiago protagonist, The Old Man and the Sea. Robert Jordan protagonist, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Frederick Henry protagonist of Farewell to Arm. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. Shashi Deshpande, one-liner exam facts. Shashi Deshpande is the leading English novelist. She was born in 1938. She was born in Dharwad, Karnataka. She writes primarily in English. She is one of the most important contemporary Indian women writers. Her father was Sri Ranga S.R. Ranga, a renowned Kannada dramatist. She studies economics. She later studies law. She also trained in journalism. She is also known mainly for novels and short stories. Literary theory, identity. Shashi Deshpande belongs to Indian English literature. She is associated with post-independence Indian writing. She is known for psychological realism. Her fiction focuses on women's inner lives. She explores the conflict between tradition and modernity. Marriage is a recurring subject in her novel. Middle class Indian families are common setting. Her female protagonist seeks identity and self respect. She avoids sensationalism in her writing. Her language is simple and realistic. Feminism is a major concern. Identity is a recurring theme. Gender discrimination appears frequently. Silence is an important motive. Self discovery is central to many novels. Family relationships are carefully explored. Patriarchy is critically examined. Emotional isolation is a common theme. Freedom versus responsibility appears repeatedly. Mother daughter relationships are significant. Important novels. You should remember the dates of these novels too. The Dark Holes No Terrors was published in 1980. If I Die Today is one of her early novels. Roots and Shadows are published in 1983. That Long Silence was published in 1988. The Binding Wine was published in 1992. The Matter of Time appeared in 1996. Small Remedies was published in 2000. Moving On appeared in 2004. In the Country of Deceit was published in 2008. Shadow Play is one of her later novels. The Dark Holds No Terror. The protagonist is Sarita Saru. She is a doctor. The novel explores marital conflict. It examines domestic violence. Saru returns to her parental home. The novel deals with childhood trauma. It explores gender bias in family. Saru's is Manohar Manu. Fear and silence dominate the novel. The ending suggests self awareness. That Long Silence. That Long Silence won the Sahitya Academy Award 1990. The protagonist is Jaya. Jaya is a writer. Her husband is Mohan. Silence symbolizes women's oppression. The novel questions patriarchal expectation. Self-expression is major theme. The novel is written in first person. It is considered Deshpande masterpiece. Jaya decides to break her silence. The Binding Wine. The protagonist is Urmi. Novel deals with violence against women. Motherhood is an important theme. It explores memory and healing. Poetry plays a significant role in novel. The protagonist is Indu. Indu struggles between roots and shadows. It's about root and shadows. Indu struggles between tradition and independence. The novel examines family values. It also explores female identity. Heritage is an important concern, matter of time. The novel focuses on family relationship. It explores three generations of women. Time is symbolic element. Memory shapes the narrative. It examines emotional suffering. Shashi Deshpande has received Sahitya Academy Award. She is respected as a feminist voice. She has written children's books. She has also written essays. She remains an influential Indian author. Her novels are psychological rather than action oriented. Internal conflict is more important than external conflict. She uses realistic dialogue. Symbolism appears subtly. Her endings are unusually open ended. Her protagonists are educated women. Domestic life becomes a literary subject. Her novels focus on ordinary people. Emotional realism is hallmark of her writing. She combines social criticism and psychological insight. She is regarded as a major Indian feminist novelist. Her best known novel is The Long Silence. Jaya is heroine of That Long Silence. Sarita is heroine of The Dark Holds No Terrors. Indu is the heroine of Roots and Shadows. Urmi is the heroine of Binding Wine. Her fiction portrays the dilemma of middle class Indian women. Silence is one of her most important recurring symbols. Identity, marriage, and patriarchy are her central concern. Shashi Deshpande is one of the most important Indian writers. Now, the top 10 fact. He was born in 1938, birthplace Dharwad, Karnataka. Father Sri Ranga, major work The Long Silence, Sahitya Academy 1990 for That Long Silence. Heroine of That Long Silence is Jaya. Heroine of The Dark Holds No Terror, Sarita. Major themes feminism, identity, marriage, patriarchy, silence. Style is psychological realism. Literary importance, leading voice in Indian English memory. Ruskin Bond was born on 19 May 1934. He was born in Kasauli, Himachal Pradesh. He is one of the India's best known Indian English writer. He is primarily a novelist, short story writer, and essayist. He spent much of his childhood in Dehradun. He has lived for many years in Landore, Mussoorie, Uttarakhand. The Himalayan region is a setting for many of his works. He writes mainly in English. He is famous for writing about nature and ordinary life. His writing is simple, warm, and nostalgic. Ruskin Bond's first novel is The Room on the Roof. The Room on the Roof was published in 1956. He wrote The Room on the Roof when he was 17 years old. The Room on the Roof won the John Llewellyn Rhys Prize. Bond has written hundreds of short stories. He has also written children's books. He is a prolific essayist. His works are widely prescribed in Indian schools. He is especially loved by young readers. He is one of the most widely read Indian English authors. Awards. Ruskin Bond received the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992. The award was for Our Tree Still Grows in Dehra. He received the Padma Shri in 1999. He received the Padma Bhushan in 2014. He is recognized for his contribution to Indian literature. The Room on the Roof his first novel. Vagrants in the Valley is the sequel of The Room on the Roof. The Blue Umbrella is one of the most famous novellas. A Flight of Pigeon is based on the revolt of 1857. Delhi is Not Far is another important novel. The Night Train at Deoli is a famous short story. The Cherry Tree is one of the best loved stories. The Eyes Have It. It is a celebrated short story. Time Stops at Shamli is another popular story. Our Trees Still Grow in There is important collection. Nature is the central theme of Bond's writing. Childhood is recurring subject. Friendship is frequently explored. Loneliness appears in many stories. Simplicity is hallmark of his style. Nostalgia is recurring emotions. Human relationships are portrayed with warmth. Animals often appear in his works. Hills and forests are common setting. The beauty of ordinary life is celebrated. Style. Bond uses simple and clear language. His prose is lyrical yet easy to understand. His stories often have autobiographical elements. His descriptions of nature are vivid. His narrative are gentle and optimistic. The Blue Umbrella, Binya is the protagonist. Binya owns a beautiful blue umbrella. The story is set in Himalayan village. The umbrella symbolizes innocence and beauty. The novella promotes kindness and forgiveness. The Room on the Roof, Rusty is a protagonist. Rusty is an orphaned Anglo-Indian boy. The novel is partly autobiographical. It explores friendship and self-discovery. The setting is in Dehradun. It is set during the Indian Revolt, the Flight of Peasants. It is set during the Indian Revolt of 1857. The protagonist is Ruth Labodur. The novel depicts Hindu-Muslim harmony. It was adapted into the film Junoon. The film was directed by Shyam Benegal. Now short stories. The Eyes Have Its End with dramatic irony. The Night Train at Deoli is about an unforgettable brief encounter. The Cherry Tree celebrates patience and hope. Time Stops at Shamli explores isolation. Bond's short stories are admired for emotional depth. Ruskin Bond is known as writer of Himalayas. Masuri is closely associated with his life and work. He portrays small town India with affections. His fiction avoids unnecessary complexity. His works appeal to both children and adults. He has influenced generations of readers. His stories are frequently adapted for television and films. Nature is almost a character in his writing. His essays are reflective and personal. Memory plays an important role in its narrative. A frequently asked question of Ruskin Bond. He was born on 1934, birthplace Kasauli, residence is Landor, Missouri. First novel is The Room on the Roof. First novel published 1956, Hero of The Room on the Roof, Rusty, Heroine of the Blue Umbrella, Binya, Sahitya Academy Award 1992, Padma Shri 1999, Padma Bhushan in 2014. Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra won the Sahitya Academy Award. A Flight of Pigeon is linked with Revolt of 1857. Bond mainly writes in English. His works focus on nature and childhood. His language is simple and accessible. He is one of the greatest living Indian English writers. His stories are frequently asked in the examination. He is specially associated with Dehradun. Now, top fact. Again and again, I am just revising top fact because it's written here. And ChatGPT is one of the best source of education. It's providing the concise information of the author because there is a lot of things to study. So we can't study everything. So we are getting the concise information through ChatGPT. He was born in 19 May 1934 and birthplace was Kasauli, Himachal Pradesh, residence Landor, Missouri. First novel is The Room on the Roof, 1956. Protagonist Rusty, Sahitya Academy Award, Or Till Still Grow in Dehra, 1992. Padma Shri in 1999. Padma Bhushan in 2014. The famous work The Blue Umbrella, The Room on the Roof, A Flight of Pigeon, The Night Train at Delhi, major themes nature, childhood, friendship, nostalgia, Himalayan life. Arundhati Roy. Arundhati Roy's full name is Susanna Arundhati Roy. She was born on 24th November 1961. She was born in Shillong, Meghalaya. She is an English novelist, essayist, and activist. She spent much of her childhood in Kerala. Her mother was Mary Roy, a women's rights activist. Mary Roy founded a well known school in Kerala. Arundhati Roy studied at the School of Planning and Architecture, Delhi. She trained as an architect. She later became a full time writer. Literary career. Her debut novel is The God of Small Things. The God of Small Things was published in 1997. It won the Booker Prize in 1997. It was her first novel. The novel became an international bestseller. It has been translated into more than 40 languages. Her second novel is Ministry of Utmost Happiness. It tells about the life. It was published in 2017. It was longlisted for Booker's Prize. Roy is also a noted political essayist. The God of Small Things. The novel is set in Andaman, Kerala. The story takes place mainly in 1960s. The protagonists are the twins Estha and Rahel. Amu is their mother. Velutha is an untouchable Dalit carpenter. Baby Kochamma is twins' grand aunt. Chaco is Amu's brother. Sophie Mall is twins' cousin. The novel uses a non-linear narrative. Childhood memories shape the story. Themes. Caste discrimination is the major theme. Forbidden love is central to novel. Family relationships are deeply explored. Childhood innocence is recurring concern. Gender inequality is highlighted. Social injustice is exposed. Memory structures the narrative. Political conflict forms the background. Loss and trauma recur throughout the novel. The novel questions social conventions. Style. Roy's language is poetic. She experiments with chronology. Symbolism is usually extensively. The narrative shift between past and present. Child psychology is portrayed realistically. Her prose is lyrical, imaginative. Wordplay is distinctive feature. The novel blends realism with symbolism. Nature imagery is frequent. Small details carry deep symbolic meaning. Estha is one of the twins. Rahel is Estha's twin sister. Amu is their mother. Velutha belongs to Paravan caste. Baby Kochamma represents social prejudice. Chaco studied at Oxford. Margaret Kochamma is Chaco's former wife. Sophie Mall dies tragically. Mamachi is the twins' grandmother. Papachi is their grandfather. Roy is an important essayist. The Algebra of Infinite Justice is the famous essay collection. The Cost of Living is another important work. War Talk is collection of essays. An Ordinary Person Guide to Empire is another essay collection. Broken Republic discusses Central India. Listening to Grasshoppers is the political work. Capitalism, a ghost story, critic inequality. Walking with Comrades is a noted non-fiction work. Her essay focuses on politics and society. Awards and recognition. Booker's Prize winner 1997. The God of Small Thing is her best known work. The novel established her international reputation. She is one of the leading English writers. She is also known for public activism. Her works are studied worldwide. She combines fiction with political commentary. Her debut novel remains her most prescribed work. She is major contemporary Indian author. She is widely studied in UGC. Now, her birth year is 1961. Birthplace is Shillong. Her debut novel is The God of Small Things. Publication is 1997. Booker Prize she won on 1997. Setting is Mainam, Kerala. Protagonist Esther and Rahel, mother of twins Amu, Dalit carpenter Velutha, grand aunt Baby Kochamma. The novel criticizes the caste system. It explores the love laws that govern relationships. The narrative is non-linear. It blends personal and political history. The Ministry of Utmost Happiness is her second novel. She is trained as an architect. She is an Indian English novelist and essayist. She is known for lyrical prose. Her fiction combines social criticism with literary innovations. 12 top 15 facts to memorize for Wikipedians. He was born on 24th November 1961. Birthplace is Shillong, Meghalaya. Her profession is novelist, essayist, and activist. Debut novel, That God of Small Thing, it was published on 1997. Award is the Booker Prize. Second novel, The Ministry of Utmost Happiness. Setting of God of Small Things, Amenam, Kerala. Twins Aistha and Rahel. Mother Ammu, the lead character Velutha, grand aunt Baby Kochama, major themes caste, forbidden love, family, memory. Non-linear narrative poetic language. Most important exam fact, The God of Small Thing won the 1997 Booker Prize, remain one of the most important novels in Indian English literature.